By Deck 84.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bay with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another road edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, coming to you live today from beautiful Deck 84 in downtown Delray Beach. We are right on the water here on the Intracoastal, but we're taking it inside today because a lot of people, as much as people like to sit outdoors in Florida, we want to let people know that here at Deck 84,
they have inside too.
They have a beautiful interior. It's bright and airy in here. You can see the background, the bar. They have a sushi bar in here, and we're coming up to season. And believe it or not, there are those days where it gets a little chilly and cold and windy, and you might want to consider sitting indoors at Deck 84. It's right on Atlantic Avenue and the Intracoastal there in the 800 block. They've got valet parking, very easy to get in and out. And it gives me great pleasure today to introduce to you the new executive chef at Deck 84.
Thank you.
He might be new here, but he is no rookie. He is a veteran chef with a very impressive resume.
Nice.
Chef Fernando Marulanda. Do I
Thank you
pronounce
very
that?
much. Absolutely.
Welcome to the Lunchbox. And here's Mike Lubie Lubitz. Chef Defo DeForest
Nice to
is
see
out
you,
playing
friend.
hooky. He didn't even call out today.
He
What do you
just
do,
doesn't
Chef,
show
when
up.
you got line cooks that don't even call out? He just didn't show up. And then Lubie was saying, oh, yeah, Defoe's got something. He's probably like betting a racetrack. He's a degenerate gambler. We do a lot of
I try to keep
gambling
it
and
quiet.
sports talk.
There's no OTB down here.
Yeah, well, he manages to find all the racetracks and paramutuals. And I don't even know what's running today. Acidnobia Downs or something like that. The man, he needs help, but that's okay. We'll let Defo
I
be.
love that.
And Fernando, how are you and what's going on?
I'm great. Just going on what we do.
Yeah.
Spend most of our time in our day trying to come up with a formula that gives a guest experience or takes it to the next level.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. I think that's what we do day in and day out. We just use this for different things. Food is a vehicle, libations vehicle.
Yeah, we got a couple of libations.
I saw.
Originally, I was going to be a teetotaler today. I've been pretty good lately. I'm trying to be on best behavior. I'm on a health kick, but I didn't get my walk. I was out late last night. I was at this special collaboration dinner that the great folks at the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival held down in Fort Lauderdale at this relatively new Japanese place called Miso Japanese Tapas. And our friend Reno Sorbonne from Heritage, who has an Italian restaurant, Reno got together with Tuan, who's the executive chef and proprietor of Miso. It was a 6-course dinner, and they got a little bit in the weeds and things. It was, the SS Minnow was a 3-hour tour. Well, this was like a 4-hour tour, and everybody got a little shipwrecked. But we had, you know what? It was great food, great fun, great atmosphere. Couple of drinks, so a little groggy, and here we are at Deck 84. We made it, and we've got, what's the purple drink there?
It's really nice.
It's a gin-infused drink, and it sounded fun. So we're at Deck 84. I figured, why not have a good time? We're here with Nando.
But gin is not usually purple. Is it infused with the grimace or something like that? What?
I will have to get the drink menu, and I'll explain it to you.
And is that in honor of the Minnesota Vikings upset victory
last night?
night?
Monday Night Football fun, exactly.
Wow, you guys are going in fast.
Yeah, no, we're fast and furious here. My man Fernando here.
That's also from a tea. The tea is brewed.
The tea. There we
it
go.
gives that color, and then
we've got the culinary guy here who's giving the actual explanations as opposed to us who just mix stuff up.
Well, our CDC, I believe, came up with that, and she's just amazing.
That's what I wanted, a drink that captured Deck 84, and they brought me this, so I'm ready to go.
And I've got my standard Tito's and lemonade, which just always goes down smooth. And especially when we're out here looking at this beautiful view, we're looking at the Intracoastal. We've got the bar, the sushi bar behind us, and we've also got some of the dishes that are on the menu now. Now, I know that you are working on some new things. Just tell us a little bit, first of all, what's in front of us, and then what's ahead of us in terms of the menu retooling.
As you can tell, our influence over here, and definitely with the culinarians in the kitchen, spans all over. Familiar things like our spinach, right? Our spinach dip. When it's done well, when it's done with actual spinach, not
Right. None of that
frozen
chopped
things or
frozen
chopped
stuff.
up.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a different taste.
Right.
Everything that we do in house. So that's a familiar thing for our guests, but it's also very delicious. Tacos. I mean, you can't go anywhere without a taco.
Tacos are ubiquitous.
You just can't. It's become part of the, in the last, I would say 15,
Yep.
starting
the
maybe
Taco
20.
Tuesday, the Taco
Absolutely,
Tuesday thing, yeah.
especially like in New York where I'm from. So we have our shrimp tacos over here. Nothing really complicated. We have a great blend that we make in-house, crema, jalapenos, and we blacken the shrimp, do it on the grill top, and it's on the flat top. It's just delicious, our tortillas and everything, our sauce. I'm not going to give you all the recipes.
No.
But
I was like, well, I'm
can't
going to give
do
us a
that.
recipe. I
you
love
have to call some of your friends.
nice
and
shrimp
everything.
tacos.
But totally, we have our tuna poke that comes from the sushi station. That's a great
That looks
ideation.
great. And let me pick it up and
Yeah,
show the
take it.
fine folks out
And
in,
there's some like
Totally.
noodles.
again, we're on the
Over
South Florida
rice.
Live Networks, and Let's Eat South Florida. 125,000 we surpassed the other day,
Mazel tov.
which is crazy.
Felicidades, as we
All
say
you
down there.
Let's Eat freaks,
In South Florida.
if you're in Del Rey area, you got to come out to Deck 84. It's
Yes.
it's been here
Its
a
view
little
is
over 10
fantastic.
years, but this
Inside
tuna
and
poke
outside.
bowl looks delicious.
Absolutely, and
I'm gonna
that's
dive
an
in.
ideation I have to mention again from
Yep.
our CDC chef de cuisine, Kat.
Mhm.
That's every chef has their own thing that they kind of lean towards a certain cuisine,
Yeah.
and hers is that technique, and it's just delicious, amazing.
Very nice.
And then we have our fried rice, our familiar fried rice. One thing that I've noticed, not that we're Chinese food at all, but
There's an Asian
sometimes I
vibe.
can't find a good fried rice place.
You know,
in
that's so
Florida.
funny. My wife and I, and we've had this discussion. So there is plenty of good Chinese food. I know you're from New York, and everyone's like, we want authentic New York Chinese, which is an
Authentic New York
oxymoron.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not authentic Chinese, authentic New York Chinese. So, but we have it here. I promise we do. Mayo will go off on a tangent if you say we don't have it.
But this is a different style.
Fried rice, back in the day, the fried rice with a bunch of stuff in it and was hearty and was filling. We've struggled to find that. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, and I think that Florida is definitely evolving even more.
Yeah.
I was here like 15 years ago.
This tuna, by the way,
that's
that's
crazy, right?
fantastic. Yeah, very
That's
good.
crazy. With the
Yep.
pieces. It's
Pop
really,
it.
really nice touch.
But
And it was very challenging. But now,
Yep.
as you can see, we have our fried egg on
Yep.
top, which is I think is the star for me.
And that's
Yeah.
really cool.
So
Like
it's
a real fried egg.
Absolutely.
Runny fried egg.
you know what I do with the fried egg?
He pops it like a
poke it.
jerk off.
Well, you got to get the
Well, but
runny
that's what
yolk.
it's about.
I
That's what
know,
about
it's
it.
fried
Look at
Yeah,
that.
you
I
get the
know.
runny yolk, and
It just
it's
looks
just very
nice.
sensual when that
It's
yolk
sensual.
starts dribbling on the rice and all the
I don't
mound
know
of.
about central.
Now this is again, it's not really the Chinese. I would call this more of a Polynesian or Hawaiian
Yes,
fried rice.
absolutely.
You've
Yes.
got chunks of pineapple in there, which might, send some purists running in horror.
But it's
like
their
me,
take on fried
No, but
rice.
it's fried rice.
It's
Yeah.
their
Exactly,
take on
you know?
fried rice.
I'm gonna-
It should be quick. It should be flavorful, explosive, and you have a party in your
And
mouth.
hearty. I like
like
that it's
that.
hearty. That's
And-
the other thing.
and we
There's a
got
lot
bacon
of
in here,
chunks
or
of
is
So
that
you have
ham?
bacon, absolutely.
chunks of bacon,
gonna
chunks
go-
of chicken,
Look at that.
as opposed to when you have to look for it with a microscope and go, I think there's chicken.
Oh, that's fantastic.
It
That's
really
great.
is, right? The size, the
Yeah.
portions, I don't even can say enough. I mean, the portions, the value, the bang for your buck.
Yep.
Right.
Is something that we also
And it's fresh. You said you guys do it in
Have. A
house.
la minute. That's done a la minute. There's nothing older.
Well, that's the other thing we talk about a lot of the time with South Florida. When you get closer to the water, you don't always get better food. You get better views, but
Oh,
you always are just happy that you get a decent meal. Well, that's why we love coming out here to Decade.
That's
Four,
why we love
because
Burt Rapoport.
the
because
Rapoport
he's a
group is
guy. He knows there's places that could be cynical and just skate on the view.
Yeah, the looks.
But he's constant.
always.
Bert's not able to be with us today, but we saw him last week at Max's Grill in Boca. He is such the professional. He's always striving to get better and do better, and that's why you see Chef Fernando sitting next to me.
I
You literally
appreciate
just
that.
came on board, right? Or when did you
Absolutely.
start?
Less than a month ago.
Oh,
Less
wow.
than a month. So I'm a baby here.
And again, because he, I guess, is always looking for improvements and new vision and new creativity. Tell us a little bit. First of all, your
Sure.
background. You're a New Yorker like
I'm
me.
we
a
can
New
tell you're
Yorker,
from New
born
York.
and raised in Manhattan, New York City.
Upper,
Nice.
like you said, East Harlem.
East
right?
Harlem.
Oh,
East
wow.
Harlem, that has gone through many changes, even in my
It's
lifetime.
a really cool area.
You
Now
know,
they've done a lot with it.
Yeah, we were talking about Rayos. I had never been to Rayos
Rayos,
restaurant. They
absolutely.
just opened a new location branch here in Miami Beach at the Lowe's Hotel. But you said you
Absolutely.
actually like played with one of the kids,
Oh
right?
yeah, it was the Rayos, and then there was Joey Rayo's son played football with him, and
Oh, that's funny.
you know when you're a kid, New York City is huge. It's a universe, at the same time, the neighborhoods are really
It's a small
small.
town.
It's a
yeah.
small. little
Everybody
place.
knew everybody in your
Exactly.
neighborhood.
And when you're dealing with sports, you know, the guys that would go to some club or something, you know each other. You know, you respect each other. You try not to carry on traditional parents' battles, and that's the beautiful things that flourish out of that.
How did you get into the food game and the food scene? You just
I
started
think,
working in restaurants?
Well, you
or-
know what? It's funny. I was originally going to John Jay College
Oh, yeah.
for forensic
Oh,
psychology.
right. I read that in your bio. That was
Yeah.
fascinating.
Forensic psychology.
Forensic psychology.
Yeah.
Of course,
Wow, okay, that's
leading to you would love it in the Let's Eat South Florida group because there's a bunch of nutcases in there.
You
And
guys
some
know
of these
this, yeah.
guests, I need to psychoanalyze them or myself for dealing
Totally.
with, but yeah, but
I'm analyzing
does-
you guys. Why'd you pick this? I'm trying to figure that out. But
don't
know,
try to
psychoanalyze.
analyze me. I'm too deep. That was a line from The Odd Couple.
Yes.
But that's fascinating. So okay, so you were starting.
I was doing that, right? And
Yeah.
then, but at the same time, we're talking about now the late '80s, right? The late '80s.
Yeah, yeah.
New York was a different world, the clubs and everything.
Oh yeah.
So what do you do as a young kid, right? You supplement your income. You begin bar backing.
Yep.
Then you learn how to bartend.
Bartending, serve.
You're DJing. You're bouncing, you know, carding people at the door because
Yeah.
there was thousands of places in New York City to do
Yep,
that.
yep.
And then it kind of gets good to
You
you.
might have thrown me out one night.
I remember you.
Danceteria,
Danceteria, yeah, the Limelight, Palladium.
Limelight,
I mean, it goes on and on.
These were some of my hangs in high school.
Absolutely. You know,
That's great.
Yeah. until you kind of catch the bug of hospitality. You don't realize it's hospitality, but it really is.
Mhm.
That and the fact that I'm first generation born and raised in New York City,
Oh,
so
wow.
you still have that tradition of eating fresh, family, and
Mhm.
and then if you're Catholic, like I was,
Mm.
you couldn't even eat anything until you went to mass.
Yeah,
Mhm.
man.
So all those things you put them
Patience.
together, and it's just a class in hospitality. It
Right.
was a natural calling for me.
And again, New York New York has a reputation of being a gruff or unfriendly
Tough.
city. It
Yeah.
couldn't be further from the truth.
I
New
agree.
Yorkers, again,
They don't waste time.
we're
You don't
direct.
waste time.
Well said.
we're direct and no nonsense, but they are the most friendly and most helpful and loyal people in the world. And that's why I
They're
bet some of the best people in the hospitality and restaurant business are New Yorkers because they know how to look you in the eye. They know how to make
Oh,
you
yeah,
feel
yeah.
good and welcome. And
Put it this way, I've asked for directions in South Florida and in New York. I got a lot better response in New York than I did in
Right.
South
But
Florida.
and even LA, and
Oh, they don't. Yeah, they don't.
you guys are the first people to say that. The truth is that many people are overwhelmed when they go to live in New York, so they get
Oh, it's a lot.
they get a little tight. They hold their purses tight. They
Yeah.
hold their dogs, their giant
Yeah.
dogs in apartments. But the truth is, a New Yorker's ethos is, I'll help you out. You don't have to overthank me. Thank me once. That doesn't mean we're friends. Let's just keep moving.
Yes,
That's it.
Yeah.
But we'll help you out.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
That's
I
it.
approach everybody comes in peace. They're my friend. But if you're going to start something, I'm going to finish. So that's the Brooklyn ethos right there. You're going to start with me. Be prepared.
I don't deal with that. I'm a professional in a restaurant.
That is the ultimate hospital. I don't have to be. I was a punk journalist.
I love that. But
It-
yeah, totally. So that's it.
So,
And
so you went from doing the whole bar back club scene. Then what was the next step? Because your
Well,
resume,
then
I'm seeing stuff.
I
Tavern on
started
the
it's
working.
Green.
impressive.
Yeah,
It's really
I
impressive.
started working at a place called Bond Street. Actually,
I know that place.
Jonathan Moore
Yeah.
owned Indochine,
Mhm.
Republic.
Mhm.
Great spot, and you kind of catch the bug.
Okay.
And so my name was or is Fernando Marulanda. Very, very,
Yeah,
very,
rolls off the
very
tongue.
Latino, right? Rolls
Yeah.
off the tongue. You're waiting for the weather after I say my name, right? And so the truth is, so then what happens? I said, you know what? I'm capable of more. I like this.
Mhm.
And so I decided to invest in myself and go to the old New York restaurant school
Oh wow.
because I didn't want to get pigeonholed, get a quarter
Yeah.
every
Did
year.
you complete your degree from John Jay, or you
No, I didn't
kinda
complete my
switched?
degree.
Okay,
I switched.
okay.
Yeah, wow.
I switched. And then just vested completely. Got my degree, culinary arts, pastry arts, restaurant management from the old New York restaurant school. And haven't turned back ever since. I did my externship at City Hall with Henry Meir.
Oh yeah,
I
that was a
went,
good
I
restaurant.
went on. I worked in different states. I worked at
City Hall was a restaurant, not where
City
the
Hall.
mayor,
I presume-
yeah.
the,
I presume the restaurant, yes.
bureaucrats would mess
Absolutely.
everything up. But no,
But bureaucrats
City
would
Hall
go
was-
there. That's where I
Yeah.
met Bloomberg the
It was,
first time.
it
Elliot
was right
Spitzer
around the corner from
Duane
the
Street
actual City Hall. Yeah,
by La Zinc Bar.
Yeah.
And then I went on to work in Maine, I believe. Worked at Tavern on the Green.
right.
Eventually, I was the last chef there. The
Wow.
last dish came out of my hand of the
Oh
original
wow.
Tavern on the
Oh
Green.
wow.
That place was classic.
It closed
and-
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, that sucks. I've never been. I
the
never.
city
was
didn't
able to
renew
get
their
there.
lease.
Yeah, it was city-owned property. Gorgeous spot of
Oh, it's
land
legendary.
in
It's
Central
iconic.
Park with this
It's in
whole
movies, TV
glass. It looked
shows.
like
Yeah, yeah.
something out of I don't know, Fantasia. It was just a great
Great.
glass castle in the middle of the
Yeah,
park,
dude.
and it was a great place. I had my grandfather's 90th birthday party.
Wow.
I remember that, and we were all just, it was just
That's awesome.
beautiful. It was magical.
It was $37 million a year in,
Oh,
Wow,
in revenue
really?
at
The
that
revenue?
time.
Oh,
That
revenue.
night.
Oh, geez.
How much was the
revenue.
rent? 32.
No, but you know what? It was. I think it was the second highest grossing at that time.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I also work at Cafe d'Artiste.
yeah.
Mr. George Lang
yeah.
was alive at the time.
Was that on Central Park South?
Right?
Yeah,
No,
or-
west.
West.
Like
okay.
right off the Tavern on
Yeah.
the Green.
Oh man, you and me.
I was.
Oh,
I was.
You-
I did my
you've been
time
around.
at Blue Smoke.
Now, did you work at Per Se under Thomas
Yes,
Keller too?
absolutely.
That guy is
with,
fastidious. You
with-
talk about.
But you know what? He's once again, it's the image, right? It's
Yeah.
what people want to believe in who the person really is. He is a person that strives for that moment that
Right.
we seek, that
Oh, he
perfection.
makes it
knowing that
special.
the-
I mean, I've eaten at Per Se. I've eaten at French Laundry.
But
Unbelievable.
it's not.
And I've eaten at Surf Club down here.
But I tell you right now, I was with him at the Surf Club recently,
Oh, yeah,
a few weeks
Oh,
ago,
nice.
and the opening also of
The
Bouchon.
one Bouchon down in the.
and now
Coral
he's
Gables.
taking
Yeah.
over Taboo.
Oh, I didn't know that. Up in,
in
Palm Beach. Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
But that's his food. Honestly, for me, and I've told him is not the most impressive thing about him.
Oh, wow.
It's his humanity. He taught me the principles of what I told him, the mise en place of life,
Okay.
how to organize myself. So I carry those lessons. I've also worked for Charlie
Well,
Palmer most
Oh,
lately.
you're with some heavy
Who's
hitters.
who,
This
yeah.
is
Very, very fortunate. yeah.
unbelievable.
Well,
And-
Bird,
Just
Bird-
stick around
Bird
long
hires
enough
the
to get a
best.
pick.
Bird
Is a
hires the
legend
best.
in
Bird
his
don't
own
hire the
right.
best.
And
Now,
Bird is
I got a
just-
Thomas Keller story. The first time I went to French Laundry, it was his one and only restaurant. He had just opened up Bouchon down the block in
Yeah.
in Yountville, California, in Napa Valley. I was there for my first wedding anniversary, and we had our meal. It was unbelievably good. It was the beginning of December, so it wasn't like peak tourist season. A little bit quieter. But he was in the kitchen that night. He came out graciously when he heard we were from South Florida. He said, "Oh, I grew up here. I got my start washing dishes
Palm Beach
at,
chocolate.
at the yacht club. I went to Lake Worth High." And I was like, "Wow!" At that point, I was
Oh, that's
writing
funny,
for the
really?
Sun Sentinel. He gave us the full kitchen tour.
Oh, wow.
He was so gracious and open. And this was, even at the time, it's before he had this full empire, but he was regarded as the, preeminent
Yes.
chef in the United States. And it was just a pleasure to talk to him because that showed how hospitality is meant to be. It doesn't matter if you're up here or if you're a VIP or not. It's like he treated everybody the same and he wanted to make every
Yeah,
experience
it's just-
special.
That's it. It's that last part.
And
Well, it's
truly,
it's not an accident that he has his product line
Yeah.
and everything called finesse.
Yeah.
Because he would always say it's always about finesse, right? And he would always take the time, and those are the things. Every other chef was worried about how he was doing things, how he's sous vide, right? How
Yeah.
he would get lessons.
Yeah.
Harold McGee would come and give an opening night for his book party. Also, Bruno Gasol was the man that developed kind of sous vide cooking for airlines in the 60s.
Mhm.
So that's great. But Thomas's humanity, what he instilled in you as a human being, how you can strive no matter where you come from. The food is the great equalizer.
Mhm.
I never forget that.
Yeah, no, tremendous person. So again, you've got this pedigree, and you spent some time working down here in South Florida, Palm
Yes.
Beaches.
I was at Lago Lu
Mhm.
a little bit, old classic place, New York. Making my rounds. I've been coming here my whole life, family.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to end up here.
So
but-
how did you and Bert
Yeah, I was
get
going to say, what
together?
brought you
What
back
brought
here,
you
outside of the great Rapoport, obviously?
well, definitely. I mean, Bird is just he's always striving to kind of like perfect without trying to show that it's perfection.
Right.
That actually is a
He's-
great way to
It's
describe it.
effortless.
What we
Like
learned
he's
from him.
clicking, but you
He's
don't
subtle.
even know what
Because he's very
subtle.
chill,
Right.
but he's
Yes.
also it's a really weird because he's in the background hanging out. We've talked to him a bunch of times now, but you can always see his mind working, and his eyes are always looking to make sure everyone's having a good time.
Absolutely, and we know that it's about two key things, right? We know that it's about good service, consistently trying, and I have to shout out our GM Lauren,
Yeah.
and also Patrick, who is our director of ops, who instill in these young people. Usually, you don't find that in young people. I tell you, my experience
Okay.
has been that you need to teach that, but they do have a natural thing, and they're really jovial. They're connecting. They're informed.
Training goes only so far. You have to have a natural proclivity and some common sense to
Absolutely.
be in the hospitality business.
Well, I
and
also-
Bert knows how to find the
That also, I was
yeah.
going to say that it goes. There's a skill to hiring. There's a big, especially nowadays, it's
Yeah.
tough for you guys to find any staffing, let alone top level staffing. And that's something we've now with all four of the Rapoport Group Restaurant Group restaurants, like we found there's a consistency there. Where you guys not only have staff that do a good job, but they want to be here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And finding that balance with the food, with the items.
Yeah.
Right. With the drinks and with the food, because I mean, we've Bert and a group of us have had dinner other places, and it's just some places give you a lot of show, but sometimes you miss something, and Thomas would say we're in the business of creating memories,
Right.
TK.
See, I like
And
that.
that's when you take a bite, we're transporting you somewhere familiar and safe.
Yep.
And that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
So
I like
what do you been tasked with as far as the menu? And again, it's not overhaul. It's again that subtle where you're going to be adding things, but not taking away some of the classic
Nah.
favorites like the spinach dip or the tacos.
Absolutely.
But you have obviously you bring a wealth of experience and some amazing
Thank you.
background
Thank
and stops that you've made. What do you foresee, or is it too soon to tell what's?
Well,
gonna
no, I
happen?
mean, I think it's being sensitive to our guests, their wants, and being sensitive to the history of Deck 84. Right? It's not reinventing the wheel.
Right, we're
It's
on
just
the water.
it's humbly presenting new things, which we're coming up with some innovation things like the sushi, for example, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Chef
yeah.
Cat did. That's a different thing that you might not have expected to have gotten here. Before. But at the same time, it's tweaking. We're in the business of that, just bringing tight. A burger is a burger, but why is our burger the best? Because we're paying attention to the bun. We're paying attention to how we cut it evenly, for example. Those things matter. We're paying attention that no one is really, and that's me, my things, my idiosyncrasies. No one's squishing the top of the bun too much with their fingertips, so when it gets to you, it's already beat up. Though, if we pay attention to the little things, it translates to the big things in life.
So let me ask you, because you're coming in. We talk about that. I do sports in the morning, and then there
Oh,
we
boy.
do food and sports. So a lot of the time we talk about wanting to become successful, and then it's even harder once you're successful to retain your success. Joining a place that's already been so successful for so long. So often people come in and want to put their own imprint on it. You've been in the industry obviously a long time. How do you work through wanting to put your own imprint and also wanting to not mess with the success that's already been here?
Yeah, for me, that to answer that, I think it's an individual, personal, staggered line of success that you set for yourself, right?
Okay.
If you've done if you worked at a restaurant and you had Michelin stars, so what are you going to go? You could keep going and say, well, I had 3, I want another one and another one. But for me, it's be able to take everything that I've had, because at this point in my life, I'm a grandfather.
Oh wow,
So I have
Mazel
2
tov. Wow.
grandkids.
Congrats. That's
Yeah,
Tov.
absolutely. Thank you. So I noticed the change in myself as a human being throughout what I've seen in the industry that we've seen.
Right.
So the same things don't turn me on, I'll be honest with you. For me, I get really a great thrill of doing solid, flavorful food and being able to mentor these kids.
Okay.
And that's where my legacy lies now.
Right.
Just
Right.
doing that.
So you don't have to do too much. You're not coming in
No.
trying to show off, trying to.
No.
Well, I mean, there's a fine line. You don't want to reinvent the wheel of a place that's successful.
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
has just, again, this is, it's a certain style of restaurant. People coming here, it's casual, it's waterfront. They expect certain things, a fish sandwich, the tacos, fish tacos. But on the other hand, you can maybe introduce some new entrees that bring
that we
past
will. We
and-
do
yeah.
specials every day. We have at least 3 specials every single day.
How involved are you in? I know you have a chef de cuisine, so
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
gonna let the chef do their thing. Like you said, Thomas Keller, he made a face, and he met Thomas, but he made a face, and you laughed because you knew how Thomas really worked. To me, I found the best managers know when to.
Absolutely.
So how involved are you in that?
Absolutely. I think that, and that I'll say it's to Danny Meyer, like setting the table,
Right,
that great
right.
book that we use, right? You're looking at a table. You don't have to be on top of them. You don't have to be staring them at every moment. So that's what I do. From a distance, I make sure they're in line,
Okay.
try to help them out when they need it. And then also, like Thomas would say, if I can't leave my kitchen, I got the wrong people in the kitchen.
Exactly.
Mhm.
you
That's
know?
my thing.
And for me, I think innovation is best served when it's not noticed.
Mhm.
I think when people keep coming to a place and the numbers don't lie, and it's a testament, right, for what we do, and saying, I've been getting that same thing, and it's been consistent every time for years, and then we have the innovation.
Yeah.
So it's a combination of a little bit of everything.
I like that.
We're here at Deck 84 with the new chef, Fernando Marolanda.
Try
It
tacos or
rolls off the tongue.
Grab a taco.
No, you guys.
That's all right.
I mean, come on, don't even
Well,
pretend.
before I get into the
Well,
tacos,
Mayo
I
behaving, so
want
I'm
to take care of a
behaving.
little business. We got to take our first break. You will be horrified because I'm going to take a taco and probably do one
Oh,
of
you're
my
gonna do your one
patented
bite. Oh,
What are you
Jesus.
gonna do?
monster
This guy
bites.
knows
No,
through
not
this
one.
long.
I usually It's become a signature of the show, and it's really truly shameful and disgusting.
Well, we should start like a Coney Island.
Yeah, no, when the hot dog. I kind
He
of
doesn't
pull a
do-
Joey
okay.
Chestnut. I don't eat 68 or 74 tacos, but I try to cram as much of a sandwich or whatever, in this case, handheld taco, into my mouth. And I'm an award-winning food critic for
He
a
actually is.
newspaper. I've
As
won
weird
all
as it is,
these-
after this next
you know,
scene, you're gonna wonder
Last
how.
night I was
but
at
yes,
this
he is.
again this fancy collaboration dinner where they're serving things like udon miso noodles with the carbonara style with the black truffle shavings and a little bit of ikura on top, and it was just a fantastic meal. So I can go from really high to just right in the gutter, just kind of shovel down
Seamlessly.
those
Oh, it is
dirty
seamless.
push cart dogs. But I horrified Bert last week because we were down at Max's Grill and we had a new French dip sandwich on the menu there, and I just crammed the
You
whole
eat half
half
of it.
sandwich right. But we'll get to that in a minute, and then Chef Fernando will never let me in the door again.
No, it's good. It's good to know.
Couple of things I did want to talk about. Again, Rapoport's Restaurant Group. It's not just Deck 84. I mean, it's got something for every mood and
It
style.
really does.
This, if you want the casual waterfront, but with the elevated cuisine, it's here.
Yep.
You've got in West Delray, we're going to be going out there next month sometime. Burton Max's is just west of the Turnpike on Atlantic in the Delray Marketplace. And your friend Lubie Buddha is the general manager. And again, that place, family friendly, pet friendly, dogs on the deck allowed out on the patio. It's getting to be that time of year. They have great burgers, the Farmhouse Burger. We've got Prezzo down in Boca Raton and Palm Beach Gardens for your comfort, modern Italian American cuisine. And of course, Max's Grill, where we were last week, which is stylish, sophisticated American bistro fare
Old
in
standby.
Meisner Park. Been there for 31, 33 years, since 1991. I can't even do the math anymore.
And let me add to that. I want people to know that we're connected. It's not like we're just connected in name. Like the chefs, we all talk to each other.
Right.
We text each other.
Nice.
Do you go to each other's tastings?
We go to
and
each
are
other's
brutally
things. We're there.
honest? Yeah.
We're doing
that's
that.
cool though. I like that.
We go to dinner together, right?
Yep.
And that's what it is. So when someone comes here and they say, hey, you know what, we want to try that, make sure we
You're
can get a
pushing them
message
there.
out
Right.
and say, hey, when you go out there, I'm going to make sure
Try
the
that.
chef takes care of you.
And that's the culture that Burt Rapoport.
That's
Rapoport
hospitality. You always talk
Restaurant.
about that.
That's it. And just a couple of notes about here. And again, you could check out all the information on the crawl. You'll see all the Instagram handles. Deck84.com is the website where you can find out, the latest updates and specials. Here they have happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m.
Nice.
at the bar and the High Tops only. They also have a weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 2. All kinds of great brunch items and specialty drinks. And then after brunch, they have live music on the weekends from 2 to 5:30. That's always a big happening time here in Delray Beach. And just a note, can't believe it, the holidays are already here.
Mhm.
Going to be open Thanksgiving here at Deck 84 from 12 to 7 p.m. So you can make your reservations and book now. They're going to have some, traditional Thanksgiving dinner.
Absolutely.
Is that right?
Thanksgiving fare. We're still having a full menu.
And some full menu. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
So
all that. And again, the other Rapoport restaurants are also going to be open for Thanksgiving. We'll get into the hours later. I believe Burton Max's is 4 to 8 p.m. and Max's Grill in Boca is going to be from 12 to 7. But again, we love Rapoport's Restaurant Group, and we're so happy to be here chatting with the new chef, Fernando. And we'll be back with more on the Lunchbox after these words. Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. This is Grill at Meisner Park in Boca Raton, located at 404 Plaza Real. Since 1991, delicious modern American cuisine in a stylish yet casual setting. The outdoor patio and lively bar is the place to see and be seen at Meisner. It also features a sushi bar and a dry-aged steak program. Don't miss their long-term signature dishes like radiatore pasta and bacon-wrapped meatloaf. So good. Open daily with live music Wednesday through Saturday evenings and a great weekend brunch. For reservations and more information, go to maxsgrill.com. Caught me with my mouth full again. Seems to happen
every show. Not once a show, it's twice a show.
That's hilarious.
I have the worst timing in the world. I always think I got a little more time on the break.
I already tell you the time too.
Chef Fernando is scooping out some of this great fried rice. What is it called? Is it called Hawaiian fried rice?
Yeah, they call it Hawaiian fried rice.
That's delicious. I mean, like you said, flavor bomb. So many things going on. Got the bacon, got the chicken, got the egg, got the pineapple, and even the pineapple works. I'm not going to complain about a little sweet acidity cutting some of the fat, and it's beautiful.
No. Especially with the chicken and the bacon.
So we were talking with Chef Fernando Marolanda.
Call me
Nando.
Nando.
Yeah, Nando. That's my bartender down at Gulfstream. He's worked there 30 years. I know him. Nando, he snaps his fingers and when the horses are coming in.
Gulfstream,
yeah.
Yep.
I grew up in Belmont.
Oh,
really?
Are you a horse player?
Oh, man.
You're going to have to come down when you get a week off. Every Friday, we do our show at Gulfstream at the 10 Palms Restaurant overlooking the track. We've got a great relationship.
It's right over the track.
Joe Beja, and this is a perfect segue. This Sunday, we're doing our quarterly Lunchbox Brunch Bash at 10 Palms. It's going to be a great day of food, fun, frivolity, racing. Our man Joe Beja, the executive director of hospitality, is graciously offered a discounted price of $40 per person if you want to come hang out with us. And we're going to have 9 contest winners there. We're going to have me, Lubie, and Defo are going to be there along with our plus ones. And I keep getting more people are RSVPing. It's wonderful. I told Joe B today, we're going to have a total group of 50 about 50
You're probably
people.
closer to 60.
It might be closer to
You should tell him
60.
60.
Oh, you're
Want a
good.
drink? I don't need
Yeah,
you
you
passing out on there.
Slug down
No,
a
you
little
have
bit.
some
That's
of
all right. That's all right.
That's
There's
all
water,
good.
actually. Here,
But
hold on.
again, and I told Joe we're gonna give him the final tally. But again, it's looking like we're actually, Lubie, going to have about 30 paying customers. So it's not all schnorrers and schleppers like me, you, and Defo. And again, if you want to join us, $40 per person. It's an all-day buffet. We're going to get there about noon.
That's a Gulf Stream?
Yes. It goes to the last race of the day, again, about 4:30, 5 o'clock on a Sunday. And they have the omelet station. They have the carving station. And again, usually it's $50 per person. But for you, if you want to join us, $40 per person plus and tip. It includes one mimosa each. You could always have more drinks and make sure you tip your servers and bartenders graciously. But if you want to join us, just RSVP the number of people in your party with your name to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com. Again, we're 50 strong at this point. Going to be 18 people who are the contest winners and their plus ones. Again, that weekly contest that we hold is so popular, and a lot of people now just wait until these quarterly bashes to come on out. And it's a lot of fun. If you like the horses.
Well, you know,
I know you're going to be working
every day at Belmont.
Yeah.
I've been to every Triple Crown winner since Secretariat.
Oh, wow.
You were there for American Pharaoh?
As a kid. Oh, I have it on my phone right now.
Oh, I missed it.
But, you know,
Oh, God,
but you know,
he was missing the wrong show.
people don't realize that the racetrack is not, it's almost not about racing sometimes, you know?
As a forensic psychologist, it's a field day.
It is a field day.
You can see
you have
all
carnivals,
manner.
you have events, you have family events, you have
Mhm.
so many things, you know, and it's just a great day. Great. It's
It
still one of
is,
the best
and
things ever.
I hope
interesting.
maybe one of these days you can join us. Maybe we'll get Bert down there. We invited our other
51 and
sponsor.
52, we'll go.
Yeah, why not? And it's going to be a fantastic time. And this Sunday, again, second floor there, you get a table, you park there all day. They have little TVs on each table so you can watch the football games. I know the Jets and the Giants, I think, are playing this weekend.
Really? Oh, wow.
This is what I wanted to get in with you. So you're a horse player, which means you probably like sports.
When we play football, you talk about playing football. I mean,
Who's your team? Is it the Jets or the Giants? Got to be the Giants. Yeah. If you like
I
winners.
go, you know,
we're from the
this
city.
psychological
We're from the
thing.
city. I mean.
Yeah.
I go straight down blue,
Okay.
right? Yanks,
Rangers.
Rangers, Knicks,
Right.
Giants.
Giants.
Yeah, you're a city.
You know,
guy.
the Giants used to play in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Let's
remember that.
And
And
then,
then- And though it's hard to talk about my Knicks,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm
you
better.
got to stay loyal, you know?
No,
I mean,
that's good. So you go in blue, and that was always like the Manhattanites. I was in Brooklyn, and my parents grew up Dodgers fans, and then they got their hearts ripped out. So when the new, the Mets, the new National League team
Yeah,
and
totally.
replacement came in, that was our family's team, and it was good. Life was good early on in my life. I was 3 years old, and they won a world
God bless you.
championship, and they were making it to World Series and things. And then the Yankees came along and had their big run, but the Yankees was always hated in our family, but we still scored tickets to the playoff games. We'd go and kind of
100%.
pretend to like them.
Big one. There was many reasons to hate the
Now I'm a
Yanks.
Gemini, so you're like straight blue, like you like hanging out with hopefully winners and Giants and the Rangers. The
Not right
Giants are
now, but,
yeah,
you know.
it's looking a little tough. But Jets fan. I was kind of split down the middle where I was a Ranger fan and I liked the Mets and I like the Jets
That's
because I'm a
interesting.
Gemini, so I have that split
All over the place.
personality and I like punishing myself a little bit. So.
If it ain't rough, it ain't right, we would say.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
But definitely, I agree. And I know many people like that. It's just something about, I guess, partly what you grow up with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Oh, yeah.
a tradition,
Absolutely.
right? So my
Family
mother
ties.
would talk to me about when she was at the stadium with Mickey Mantle's 500,
Oh, wow.
right?
Oh, so like your parents were huge.
Her notion of that was, and plus in East Harlem, we could be playing stickball, and literally in the middle of the game, we say, oh, let's go to the stadium.
Yeah.
So you hop
Must
on the
be
6,
nice. You just-
you're
oh,
125th Street, and then you take the 4, couple of stops. You go to the bleachers, which then were like, I think like 250.
Oh, you get it for
wow.
about
$1.50
50
And
when
you
I was a
sneak
kid.
in, you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
sneak in.
Yeah.
And you watch the game, and then you were
That's
back
amazing.
home.
What the
So-
heck?
Did you do the move where you would just buy the cheapest tickets
Yeah,
available,
move
or
down.
better yet, get the board and milk carton coupons where you could
Yes.
you could
yes.
redeem like 20 board and milk cartons for a ticket, and you would just
Absolutely.
go around and fishing out garbage and dumpster diving in my neighborhood. Get the board and coupon, get the free ticket, and then you smear the usher like $2 or $3 back in the day with
course.
something, and
Then
you
you
sit
move
and move down.
You know,
You could either do at Shea Stadium was the loge seats were like I like
Loge
that
seats.
second level, And if you really wanted to be greedy and you had a $5 bill, you go all the way down to the field boxes. Those were the days.
It's like sneaking into Madison Square Garden behind the bowling pins or something. You know?
Yes, I remember there was the bowling lanes. And this is a guy.
Yeah.
He is a savvy
He's a
veteran
really
New
hard
Yorker.
The Felt Forum.
I used to crawl up from Penn Station. Some of the manhole covers would lead right into the gardens.
But it was like that with nightclubs too.
Yeah. Oh, I had
If you
my
knew
trips.
somebody,
Yeah.
you knew where you
Beacon
were
Theater
going.
on the Upper West Side. I snuck into. There was a.
How many times
apartment-
you saw the Allman Brothers there?
It wasn't the Allman Brothers. I was into the punk scene and like Depeche Mode and stuff. But there was an apartment building right next door where a friend of mine actually lived, and he discovered there was a door like on the first in the basement. If you go all the way down the basement, open a door, you would be in the basement level of the Beacon Theater, and you would just walk up like you owned the joint and just walk into the pit. There was all the Palladium. I've snuck into the.
Oh yeah,
snuck into
well,
Palladium,
you
a bunch
played
of-
pool at Julian's next to it, right? The place on 14th Street next. It's not there anymore.
Yep.
Next to Joe's Pizza,
Right.
and then going to the Palladium. Same thing. I
Yeah,
mean,
we all had our tricks.
You were at CBGB's though. You were at CBGB's.
Back in the day. Yeah, I was.
It's a John Varvatos now.
Oh God, yeah. And CBGB's, the classic punk club where Blondie got its start. Talking Heads, the
Oh,
Ramones
wow.
played every other minute.
Absolutely.
Jeez.
Oh
Really?
man,
Oh,
I'm
my
getting
God.
very
Iggy Pop.
nostalgic now. Iggy Pop and the Stooges. I remember the Village Voice. They would have in the back all the listings of all the clubs with all the bands. And it was unbelievable. It's like you look back at it now, and it's like we didn't realize how good we
Yeah.
had it.
Clubs
But,
with Bear Jones at
yep.
the Underground.
that's it. I like this guy.
This
Hey,
guy's great.
come on out here to Deck 84 because not only are you going to get a guy with a classic culinary pedigree, I mean, we're talking big time stuff, per se, Cafe d'Artiste, and he's now here working at Deck 84. But you could talk horses and sports with. Tell me about the Belmont. I went to the Belmont Stakes when I was basically from age 12 until like 26. I went 14 years in a row, and I never saw a Triple Crown winner. And
He's seen every.
I didn't get to go up. I did see Woody Stevens win 5 in a row, and that was a tremendous. Were you there for the year that Conquistador Cielo won?
Oh, Conquistador, absolutely. I go back to the days of Spectacular Bid.
Oh wow! So that's 77.
Things like that, right?
Yeah.
Before Risen Star and all these
Well,
things. But I got to cook for Pat Day,
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
wow.
Angel Cordero, and
Jorge
forget one of them.
Velasquez, not
It wasn't
John
Velasquez.
Velasquez, or Jacinto Vasquez.
I was at Victor's. I was the chef at Victor's Cafe, the exec chef
Oh,
in New York
nice.
City,
Okay.
and they came in.
the racing crowd.
For me, I don't.
I
get,
love the
yeah.
ponies. I love those grand. It's a shame they're revamping Belmont. I think they're going to tear down the big grandstand and kind of make it more right size for the realities of today. But God, I had so many great memories there. And
Best 2 minutes in sports.
And I loved going out to the Belmont Stakes. I love going out there for any weekend. Back in the day, you get a crowd of 35,000 on a regular Saturday. We could reminisce all day. But
Yes.
what I really love, I mean, okay, maybe it's not the best food in the world, but I loved, and this was my tradition. I wouldn't allow myself to eat until I cashed a ticket. So some days, if I didn't cash a ticket, I went home hungry. But once I cashed the first ticket, I would go to the second floor. They'd have that concession stand with the Harry M. Stevens red clam chowder. I'd get myself a bowl of clam chowder. And then if I walked out with any money, I would always get a hot pretzel from the pretzel guy walking out. So
See, my mother was like, "It's too expensive in here." So we'd
you
end
bring
up,
your own sandwiches?
No, we'd end up going either to City Island.
Yep.
Because when you're coming back from Long Island, basically, I mean,
Yeah.
you can go over there, and then, or we'd go to Katz's
Nice.
because Katz's was still,
It wasn't
Yeah,
insane.
you would pick up sandwiches.
No,
to go.
it's
Isn't that the best when you
Absolutely.
picnic in the backside at Belmont Park?
Absolutely,
I would
yeah.
pick up these huge monstrous heroes from Sonny's Heroes in Canarsie, Brooklyn. It's no longer there. What a shame. But he made these sandwiches. They were like unbelievable. They each weighed like 2 pounds
Oh,
each.
Jesus.
And, it would be a feast for like 3 or 4 people. And you'd bring in a couple of, back then they allowed coolers, whatever.
But I love that, though. That's great.
Could reminisce all day. I
Well,
love,
like we mentioned, LMB.
yeah, L&B
Simone
Simone
Gardens.
Gardens. You could bring in, I liked chicken parm.
So let me ask you, we
subs.
talked sports, we talked, you coming into Deck 84. What have you noticed? We talked about people, the vibe in New York compared to, I brought the vibe down here. When it comes to the restaurant scene, you talked about it when it comes to fried rice. What we've talked about all the time, because people will come in and they'll go, "Oh, there's nothing here," and that's a load of garbage. Like South Florida,
No.
it's not just Miami. West Palm Beach, as you know, and Broward has really gotten really diverse and really exceptional in the last
100%.
10, 15 years. you personally as a chef, a renowned chef, what have you noticed from there to here, and what are you trying to take advantage of and maybe bring that we are still missing when you come here to Tech 84?
There's something exciting, like I said, when I first came here maybe 15 years ago, but there's something exciting about what's happening. And as people migrate, they bring good things, they bring bad
Flavors.
things,
Yep.
right? And so the flavors melt, and then people now, they have to match the exigencies of the chefs that are coming from other places.
Interesting.
So the chefs are pains, right? Because they're, no, I want this, I need this, but it makes everybody up their game. And the truth is that Florida has great bounty. I mean, just look at the water. Just,
you know,
I mean, come on.
on the Let's
Seafood.
Eat group, everybody, the classic thing, the gripe from New Yorkers who moved down here is like, I want real authentic Chinese food like wo hop, you know, and like, meanwhile, wo hop is, you know, it's a certain style Cantonese, but
You're going there, Wohop. You're going there, buddy.
but there are Chinese
Places like it,
restaurants
yeah.
that are similar to that. If you go in Western Broward, there's Silver Pond, and there's a place called Hong Kong City. You can find that. But for me, the exciting part here, you know, you come out, you get a Hawaiian rice like this, all good ingredients, quality
different.
stuff. It is fried rice. It's just maybe not the classic wo hop Chinese style. But then you go and explore and Peruvian restaurants down in Miami and Broward. That
Your buddy
chaufa-
Dixie was talking about a Peruvian restaurant.
yeah, that chaufa cuisine that has the fried rice.
Chaufa.
That yeah,
That's what really. Yeah,
yeah.
This reminds me of like a chaufa. Like,
yeah, and it's like
get
where you get that
fried
mix
rice
of
at a
Peruvian
place.
with the Latino and Chinese influences. It's absolutely delicious, and that's what you got to open yourself up to. Is like, okay, you're not in 1970s New York anymore. You're not
And
drunk.
we're not
going
in
up
New
the-
York. And,
Well, even New York
listen,
may not have that too.
No,
Remember,
listen.
things evolve. Even New York
I-
evolves.
Wo hop's still there.
Wohop,
Going down those
5 in the
steps.
morning, get
Yeah.
my paper downstairs.
You got to
But
go downstairs.
I'll tell you right now, as a consummate New Yorker that I believe I am, I love New York, everything about it. But the truth is that Florida needs to assert itself and say, we're not New York.
Yeah.
All right?
Exactly.
We are a group of different people that came here, like New York originally.
Yeah.
And this is what we have to offer.
Right.
Right. And everybody should understand that.
We used to be known as the sixth borough, but now we're really like the whatever it is, eighth continent with such a mix.
Yeah.
And it's completely crazier.
That's great.
It's true. It really is true.
I
We're
mean-
so diverse, and I think it's a positive, not a negative. Like I think it's like, look, I'm scared to tell you to join the group because as a chef, you will be probably very frustrated. But Let's Eat South Florida is great because you get to take the temperature of the area, and a lot of chefs and a lot of people in the biz are involved. But doing the show with him for a couple years now, like it's opened my, and I'm born and raised here, but I've traveled a lot, especially with my wife, and like being here, you get to see all of that and not leave. Like that's cool to me. Like
That the world is coming to you.
Yeah, like, you're here and you can. We have great Thai food in here. Like all the kind of cuisines you'd ever want is here, and I love that places like Deck 84, you will dabble in a little bit of all of it to give us an experience in one place. Like that's cool to me. Like I enjoy that.
Look, and we need to give credit. What happens is that as a chef, you have to study history. You have to be an anthropologist.
Yep.
You have to be many things.
Yeah.
And then but people don't realize when
Forensic
you
psychologist.
when you start something like
handy to be
that we're
renounced.
taking for granted, for example, like tacos.
Yep.
Right? That has a history behind it. When everybody's doing perhaps a mango or pineapple salsa up north in Minnesota, let's say,
yeah.
that comes from somewhere,
Yeah.
right? And so it has a history. Every dish has a history, not just with the chef, with those people that work the farms, those people that import it, that work the ships, that bring things in. And that's what it is. So all the great histories are always near the water.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. City.
Usually the good seafood too.
Yeah.
And I love
Great
seafood, and that's why, again, Deck 84, you guys featured fish, the mahi
The
sandwiches.
jumbos
and-
came in the close.
Yeah.
Just now.
you
Season
got
just-
some- you got
season just
donate.
started.
There you
You
go.
know?
Beautiful.
It just started. So
You can get the. It seems like there's stone crab mania
Yeah,
again
everyone's all
this
about
year,
it
which
this
is good. So look, I love the stuff. However, I remember when I first came down here, and mediums were $7 a pound, and the large were $15 or $16 a pound. Those days are over, thanks to supply and demand. And but again, if you want any kind of good stone crab seafood.
That's great. You guys have
got it
stones.
here.
It's nice.
Hey, let's take our final break in a second, Lubie. I got to talk about our friends at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market,
Talk about stone
4191 State Road
Yeah.
7.
thank you.
You got to
for
stick around because you're going to watch me down that
Jesus.
shrimp taco.
He doesn't have to.
Delaware Chicken Farm. No, you don't have to. Actually, probably shouldn't.
He seems to have respect for you. I'd
Yeah,
rather
right
keep
now
it
we're,
there.
on a good, we're in a good place. Delaware, Thanksgiving's coming up, and if you're not going to be making it out to a restaurant, if you want to do all the cooking and prepping, and if that's one of your family traditions, then you really got to order your Thanksgiving bird fresh killed, delivered there that week to Delaware.
How early
Chicken
do you
and
have to?
Seafood.
Okay, because Ken, the professor, was
You
going to join us, and he was going to order. Like, how early do you need to?
You could order it
Order
now. You could order it up to the week before. They got to
Okay.
get their, kind of final numbers in so they know how many birds they're bringing in. They literally by the truckload, and then they have those refrigerated trucks parked out back.
Nice.
But I would give them a call the next couple of weeks. Most people get their orders in 2 to 3 weeks ahead of time, and you could get nice turkey and then some stone crabs, beautiful seafood.
Yep.
They've got it all at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Owner Doug Carter and his crew. I mean, they've been doing it a long time. Again, you talk about hospitality and customer service, not just for a restaurant, but for a market like that. They have old school values, longtime customers like me. I've been going there over 30 years. Quality, value, freshness. That's the Delaware way. They're open every day. Go to DelawareChicken.com for the phone number and the info for making your Thanksgiving Day orders. Better yet, just go out there now this week. You can pick up some great fresh stone crabs, Key West pink shrimp, all the stuff they have in there, steaks and pork and sausages. DelawareChicken.com for the daily catch and the weekly specials. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
When we come back, Joanne, if you're watching, you may want to change the channel. He hasn't done it yet. I was proud of him. He's already talking about doing it, and I've never been able to stop him. There's no Defo to egg him on.
I don't think I've done it with a taco yet.
Nando hasn't told him no, so I think it's happening.
Baptism, or am I being
Oh,
defrauded?
this is
You're going to be defiled. You're not going to be holy after this. You're going to be less
Defrocked.
spiritual. Yeah, defrocked. Yeah. When we get back, the bite of all bites on a new form here, Mike Mayo's Lunchbox from the tremendous Deck 84 of the Rapoport Restaurant Group. More Lunchbox next.
Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova, or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent. It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, we are back to wrap up this edition of the Lunchbox. The hour just flew by. It's great to talk to an old New Yorker about the clubs, about Belmont, about WoHop. It's all good. Again, Chef Fernando here, helming the kitchen at Deck 84. He is a new arrival, but again, what a pedigree. Worked at some of the best people in the hospitality business, and now working for the legendary Bert Rapoport here at Deck 84.
Bert.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I mean, you know, some of the things you miss is having that dialogue with a New Yorker.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you'll get that here.
You know,
That's not funny. You'll get a lot of that.
Which is interesting. So I
If
really
Defo was
appreciate
here,
that.
you would have heard a lot of old time boxing references.
Boxing too.
And you know,
Yeah.
and
We'll be
all
back
kinds
and
of
you'll be
things.
here. So you'll
Yeah,
get to meet.
but
I love that.
we'll be back here in a couple of months. And again, it's always a pleasure. All right, here we go.
I was trying to
No more delaying
you
it.
weren't going to do
This
it.
is a very stacked taco. It's got
It's
jalapenos, which is going to.
really
I think
good.
I
I
got to
think you're
remove the
gonna ruin it.
jalapeno, otherwise it might lead to some
love
sort
the
of
chef's
injury.
Gonna pull a Bert.
And
he's
it's
gonna
got all
record you
kinds
too.
of toppings. And
Bert did
it's
this
like some
last
sort of
week.
like crema on here.
Yeah.
This is the blackened tuna. I'm
No,
sorry,
blackened
blackened shrimp
Blackened shrimp.
taco. I'm just all over the place. I'm preparing myself. Until tomorrow, everybody. And tomorrow, where are we going to be? Oh, actually, we're going to be
We're going
home.
home
We
for
had
the
a
weekend.
late scratch. We will be at Casa Calabria next week, next Wednesday, November 1st, with our friend Chef Salvatore at the Ocean Manor Resort, which just celebrated its 65th anniversary this past weekend. All right, enough of my dilly-dallying. Enjoy every sandwich and enjoy every taco. Thanks to the crew here at Deck 84, Chef Fernando. Here we go.
I'm closing it out. You're closing me out.
That's beautiful. You got it. You got it.